Welcome back to Pitwall Perspective. I'm Logan,
And I'm Manny.
and every week we break down what actually matters in motorsport. So make sure you subscribe, turn the notifications on so you never miss an update.
Yeah, so this week we have the Daytona 500 to go over, and we're going to be going week one of F1 Bahrain testing. That's pretty much it for this week. Not much else going on.
Yeah.
But we do have a couple a NASCAR event coming up in Atlanta that we'll get into, and then next week we have more F1.
Yeah. More F1 this week. Yep. So the Daytona 500, that was a pretty epic race.
Yeah.
It usually is. But I mean, we'll start off with both of our predictions for the winner was wrong. But when you have that many drivers out on track, I mean,
Yeah, I had a couple seconds of hope with my prediction.
Yeah.
Connor Zilic at one point did
Yeah.
take the lead, and then the commentators, he had just taken the lead. Commentators start talking about how he's a rookie and start talking about his career. And within the first sentence, they're getting cut off because he got taken out. He was in the lead for a solid 3 seconds, I think, 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was one of 65 of the lead changes and one of 25 leaders in the race.
Yeah.
Like, it was just all over the place.
Yep.
But the top three, real quick, Tyler Reddick did take home the win in the Toyota. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the Chevy got P2, and Joey Logano in the Ford got P3. So all three manufacturers in the top three.
Yep.
You don't see that every day, especially because with teammates working with each other and whatnot to try and push up. We had Toyotas in the top 5 for a good portion of the race. Like, it was scrambled up quite a bit.
Yeah, it was. I saw Toyota at one point.
Yeah.
Team of 5. They were just kind of making their way up through traffic. It was cool to see them work together.
Yeah.
The manufacturer teams. It's interesting because it's like it's such a different style of racing.
Very
oval
different.
racing.
Yeah.
But it has its own characteristics.
Yeah. Still very entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the last lap was epic. I mean, you start the last lap with a crash.
Yep.
And thank goodness they didn't caution the race, because that would have been lame. And then
ending in caution.
Right. And then after turn 4, there's another wreck going across the line. Tyler Reddick is just enough ahead to not be involved in any wins.
And he didn't lead the entire race.
No, it's the last lap.
The last lap.
In the first crash on the last lap, he took the lead. And then he was just enough in front to not be involved in the big wreck behind him.
Yep.
I think Joey Logano was like P6 or P7 going into the last turn. And then because of the wreck, he made it up to P3.
Wow.
Like,
yeah. So we talked about it a little bit last week. We mentioned it in your prediction because you predicted wrecks in NASCAR.
Yeah.
And I had mentioned that I looked at the weather.
Yeah.
There were storms. No storms, no rain. But it was the windiest Daytona 500 that they've had.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of the drivers coming over the radio while watching it, talking about the wind, just throwing their cars around. So
I mean, it caused multiple accidents. Most of the cautions, there were 5. I said there was going to be 12. There was 5. And a lot of them are caused by cars not getting hit by another car, but they lose it because of the wind and the airflow.
Yeah.
And it just causes an effect.
Yeah.
But the big one, that involved 20 cars, the biggest caution. That was pretty epic. But yeah, like you said, no storm ended up coming in, which was a possibility.
Yeah.
And the wind was pretty wild. But the highlight of the race for me was
at
the very
end. At the end.
Ryan Preece, when I saw that today, him finishing the race after Tyler Reddick had finished his victory lap, did his celebration in the grass, out of the car, media's around him, and then you just see Ryan Preece come across the finish line in reverse to finish the race. He's like, I came all the way down here. I am finishing this race.
Yep.
That was that was pretty funny to see. But besides that, I mean, super entertaining race, but not a whole lot to talk about.
No, it was a good race.
Yeah. So then on to Bahrain F1 testing. So we had 3 days. We were able to watch the last hour of each day. Thank goodness this week we can watch all 8 hours of each day.
Yep. This week we'll get a lot more.
Yeah, but we learned a lot more about the cars, the pecking order a little bit. Um, but day one, do you want to take us through day one?
Yeah. So starting off in the morning, George Russell did 56 laps.
Mm-hmm.
And then Antonelli did an outlap in the afternoon, and
That was it.
that was it.
Yep.
Yeah, he went right back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did they talk about that?
It was
at
a
all?
reliability issue.
Was it?
Yeah, there were some. I don't know if it was this scenario where it was a hydraulic leak or something that prevented the car from running, obviously, but he missed out on all his track time in the afternoon, so that was a real bummer for him. Yeah, and then Max and Ocon did over 100 laps between both sessions. So some of the teams split up drivers in each session for each day. Some they split up one day, and then a driver took the whole day, one of the other 2 days. So Max and Ocon did the full day on Wednesday, and they each did over 100 laps. But with the reliability issues of the Mercedes, they didn't get 100 laps done in day one.
And neither did V-Carb, Aston Martin,
and
Alpine.
Yeah. So some reliability issues coming to Bahrain.
Did the other teams not complete their laps also due to reliability?
So the Aston Martin definitely is. Alpine, they went out with Franco Colapinto. He caused a red flag. He stopped on track. And that was a reliability issue. But Pierre Gasly got in 49 laps. So if they didn't have that issue, they were probably going to get in the 100. And then V-Carb, they definitely had reliability issues, and then Aston Martin did too. So it's just teams, tinkering, figuring things out, but it's sacrificing seat time, which is, if we learned one thing, the drivers need a lot of seat time right now.
Yeah.
They need to feel the car.
Definitely.
Every single time at turn 10 around Bahrain is a lockup.
Yeah.
They're just locking up. And they just don't get the balance yet, which is fair. It's a brand new car.
They haven't really had much track time.
Right.
If you think about it.
And then I know Lewis Hamilton brought up conditions, and the track was dusty, and which is fair, but there's still definitely some issues with every team. Every team is having issues. Audi changed their side pods.
Yep, I was just gonna say they switched things up from Barcelona.
Yeah,
was it? Yeah.
Interesting design, close to like zero pods. So we'll see if that is something they stick with or not.
Yeah.
Sainz completed a ton of laps. He only did the morning. He did 77 laps. And then
I was able to actually see Aston Martin's like side pod design like really well in the time of day that they were running.
Yeah.
And it's really different.
It's weird.
It's very different.
Yeah.
Much more different than what I thought I was looking at before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they changed their side pod vents from day 1 to day 2. They changed their vents, or maybe it was day 2 to day 3.
Like what, the shape?
No, so like they had it closed off with like a small airflow hole through the back end of it, and then they changed it to almost like a these on the GT3 RS, like the multiple fins.
Yeah.
They changed it to something like that.
Okay.
So every team's testing a whole bunch of different stuff.
Right. I think we're going to see a lot of changes, especially mid-season.
Yeah.
When they start figuring things out and development.
It could shake up a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Development's going to be a really big part of. I don't even think it has much to do with like money. I think it just has to do with just whoever's got the smartest team.
Right.
Whoever's going to find the loopholes.
Right.
And whoever's going to,
take advantage of everything.
Take advantage of the rule book properly.
And a lot of risks. You need to take risks this year and try and figure something out.
Yeah.
But every single day we had a driver mention something about the new regulations. And day 1 was Lewis Hamilton, and he's just like, you need a degree to know what these cars are, and like it's super complex.
Yeah.
So that was the first, I would say, the mildest complaint we had about the cars.
Yeah. But Max Verstappen was not too happy.
No, that was day 2.
Yeah.
Or was it day 3? No, it was day 2. So in day 2, just to go over day 2 real quick, Alpine's reliability was still an issue. Cadillac didn't go out as much as. Oh yeah, let me put that up. That's day 1. Day 2.
Yep.
So Cadillac didn't put as much time up on the board or laps up on the board as they wanted to. I mean, I'm scared to talk about pace off of these testing sessions because then I'd be really bummed out seeing Cadillac down at the bottom. So, I mean, ultimately, we don't know, I think is a number one thing. I think this week we're going to learn a lot about who's actually quick. The midfield's kind of all scrambled. But anyways, for day 2, Cadillac didn't get as much laps as they wanted. Hadjar in the V-Carb went out on track in the afternoon session after he wasn't able to run any in the AM. Haas's reliability is looking the best.
They're looking good
from what we've seen,
which we're going to get into a little bit later about what the odds are saying.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to reliability, I think Haas is going to put them probably as a good midfield contender.
Right.
Maybe even higher, just being able to get an early jump. They're probably going to be able to get an early jump on points.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. Yeah, it's when we'll go over like how many laps each team actually completed throughout the 3 days, but yeah, Haas is looking really reliable. But then Max made his comment about the new regulations.
Yeah.
And he says that it feels like Formula E on steroids.
Yeah.
Lando
shooting back.
Yeah, shot back. And he says if he wants to retire, he can retire. Formula One changes all the time. We get paid a stupid amount of money to drive, so you can't really complain at the end of the day. Any driver can go and find something else to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's world champion confidence talking.
Yeah, that's a lot of ego talking there. But you know what? I agree with him.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, I would kill to drive these cars as a job.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to complain about it?
Right.
Now, Max has a lot of stuff outside of Formula One that he works on, like GT3 racing. So just go do
Max
that.
is doing a lot of cool stuff with sim racing.
Stuff. Yeah, sim racing, everything.
He's putting sim racers behind cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it doesn't give you the right to complain about your main source of income, right?
But I think, it's notable.
So Mercedes again did not complete 100 laps. Aston Martin again did not complete 100 laps. Alpine again did not complete 100 laps. And
Red Bull.
And now Red Bull didn't complete 100 laps.
So pretty close.
87.
87. Max didn't run. Day 1, Isaac didn't run and Max ran. So, it's not crazy. I wouldn't doubt that on day 1, a lot of those laps were probably Max saying, I'm going again.
Mm-hmm.
Not,
Well, right. And then, I mean, they have to split it up evenly between the two drivers in terms of sessions. But, I mean, I think
you're gonna tell me that Max might not have a couple more laps.
A couple more laps. I mean, of course he could, but I mean, he ultimately had more laps than Hadjar throughout the 3 days.
Right.
But the sessions, I think they have to split. Like if a car is going to go out in the
time of day.
Correct.
Okay.
Like if a car is able to go out in the AM and then a PM
one driver,
because of the 6
driver.
Right. Exactly. There's 6 sessions and you have to split them up 3 and 3. However you do it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think that's the actual rules.
I'm sure it's a medical thing too. Being in those cars, sweating for so much, losing so much weight. I mean, think about how much weight these guys lose in a race.
Right. And I mean,
they're running double race distances.
Right. And these 3 at the top ran all day, but they couldn't do that the next day.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's wild. But day 2, we learned about race starts and we had some practice starts, a lot of practice starts, and they're terrible.
Yeah.
They are like, they can't get off the line. They can't get grip. They can't figure out. They have to rev the car so high because they don't have the MGU-K anymore, which in last year's cars would spool the turbo up. It would help spool the turbo up.
Gotcha.
Now they don't have that. So now they have to hold the RPM so much higher to try and get the turbo spooled up. They have to hold them higher and longer to try and get a launch, and they were still bogging down. So like, not Barcelona. Australia might be chaos at the start of the race. Who knows?
Right.
So they definitely need to get some practice going on that.
Are we starting to think that these regulations like might not be?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. What will happen day 3 though? Let me pull that up here.
Yeah.
There we go. Fastest lap of the whole test 1 with Kimi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we can start off talking about day 3.
Mm-hmm.
Fernando Alonso had some pretty strong words.
Yep.
Yeah.
All 3 days, a driver comes out and says something.
Yeah, Fernando Alonso, and these aren't new drivers. These are guys that have been
world champions, multiple time world champions,
yeah.
all of them.
Fernando Alonso came out and said, the new engine regulations have killed racing.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Full quote. Last year we took turn 12 at Bahrain flat out at 280 kilometers an hour. Today we go 50 kph slower because we need to save electricity for the straight going to the last corner of the race. And he says the chef could drive these cars. Yeah, that's head scratching. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
We heard, I think it was Lewis Hamilton during the Barcelona shakedown. He came out and said that these cars drive like a video game.
Yeah.
He pointed towards being easy to drive. Now Fernando Alonso is saying that the chef could drive it.
Explain this to me just super quickly.
Yeah.
So he says that they drive like a video game.
Yep.
His comment after day 1 was that they're super complex and you need a degree to understand them. There's 9-year-olds that do sim racing. They're not going to understand these cars. So which quote is he more leaning towards here?
Well, I think context is important there because the car driving like a video game is one thing and understanding the engineering and the complexity of the car is another thing.
Yeah, that's valid.
What was he talking about when he made those comments?
Well, he's talking about driving the car in terms of Barcelona. Like how it actually feels to drive.
Was he talking about the reliability and the build of the motor when he was talking made the complex other quote? Yeah, he
could be. I mean, I think it's the battery too, and
I think batteries are
the 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Well,
see what's interesting to me is one of the new rules where you can use the battery.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to cross the straight.
Yeah.
Within a second of the person
the detection point.
Yeah. The detection point, which is now the start line. There's only one detection point.
Right, which I don't know if it's confirmed on every track to be the start line. Gotcha. I think it is, but either way, yes, there's one detection point throughout the lap, and then for one whole lap, you get to use the...
So let's talk about the batteries then, right? Yeah. Because we're seeing the driver cams show the batteries.
Yeah.
All right. They're depleting almost immediately.
Yep.
And then they're regenning almost
on the next corner.
On the next corner.
Right. But are they using that 1 second margin to use that extra bit of battery? Is that a separate battery bar somewhere else? That's my first question that I have. Or is that one bar that we see on their steering wheel?
I gotcha.
Their whole battery? That's my first question. My second question,
like a sector battery, maybe.
Right, like this is so there's boost, which is like modern day ERS. That's like you just use it to overtake.
It's an overtake button.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Then
that's called boost mode.
Boost.
Okay.
Yeah. Then overtake mode is you're within 1 second and then you can use it for 1 lap.
And overtake mode is stronger than boost. It gives you more power.
It gives you more power from the same battery.
Is overtake, boost is like ERS.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. So now with overtake, if that's a separate battery charge that they have, then I think it's okay. If it's not, it's pointless and it's going to be ineffective.
That's what I'm going to say. How close do you have to be in order to make a pass using that?
Right. Our slipstream is going to be like the only way. Like Fernando said, like, are we only going to overtake on straights now? Like not around these corners. So that's one thing. But the other thing I was thinking is when we see these bars depleting as fast as they are on the steering wheels, are they using overtake mode? Because they're allowed to in practice sessions and qualifying. So like in these sessions where we're seeing the battery bar deplete like that, is it at using overtake mode or is that just boost?
Oh, right. Is it going to deplete faster?
Right. If it depletes faster than that and they don't have a
I think
second battery pack.
even if that is using overtake mode, it's still depleting way too fast.
Well, no. If it's using overtake mode, yeah, I think it's depleting way too fast. But it also shows that the other drivers, if you don't have overtake available, then you're not going to run out of battery as much.
Right.
I don't know. I think either they had to have been using overtake mode, and if they weren't, they have to have a second battery pack or second battery like diagram to show their overtake battery. And if they don't, and none of those are true, I don't know. That's a head scratcher.
Yeah.
I think it could, like, because then there's no point of overtake, in my opinion. I mean, we'll see. I could be dead wrong, but like these cars were going up to 320 kilometers an hour at the main straight, and then before the braking zone, they're depleting in speed.
Just going to talk about that
before they brake.
Yeah.
Now, is that the driver lifting off early to restore their battery because of the lifting coast, or is it them literally just out of battery and they have half the power?
Right.
I mean, yeah, it could be a very interesting year. I guess we'll find out. Yeah. Do we want to go over real quick the amount of laps that each team did throughout the 3 days?
Yeah, we can talk about. I mean, all of them did a pretty significant amount of laps.
Right.
We had McLaren and Williams both do 422. Ferrari did 420. Haas did 390. Audi at 353. I put Audi on the bottom of my ranking.
Yeah. Livery ranking.
I did. I put Audi on the bottom of my livery ranking. I told Logan earlier today before we started recording, it did look pretty good on track. The metallic, it actually isn't terrible. Is it last looking.
Place still?
No, I don't think I'd put it last place. Actually, after seeing these cars on track, who I did see?
What?
Williams.
Thank you.
I'd drop him.
Thank you.
I don't know if I'd drop him to 10, but I'd or 11, but I'd drop him.
Drop him a bit.
A couple spots.
Yeah. You know who I would drop a couple spots?
Who?
I think we got teased hard by Red Bull. The picture that we pulled up and you were like, "Oh, I've never seen this picture. It looks pretty good here."
Yeah. I guess I didn't look
It is not what it looks like on track.
I guess
Red Bull would drop for me.
Really?
Yeah, Red Bull would drop.
I'm gonna have to go look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so Audi did 353, Red Bull 343, V-Carb 326, Cadillac 320. I'm fairly disappointed with how Cadillac's been doing. Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to ignore the lap times themselves.
Yeah, they killed the livery. Yeah,
it looked good, but it doesn't make you fast.
Yeah, but their lap times are going to kill any chance they have of any points.
Right.
They need to...
Look, they could be running completely different programs than the teams at
the
top.
They could.
So, again, I don't want to make any assumptions. Mercedes did the fastest time of all 3 days, and they did the second to last amount of laps.
They only did 282 laps. Yeah.
Which somehow is still 76 more than Aston Martin.
Yeah, at 206.
How disappointing is that?
Aston Martin, I mean, honestly, Aston Martin never really comes out all that reliable.
No, but you know what? I have to eat my words from 2 weeks ago about Williams.
What do you mean?
About them not showing up to Barcelona and that being a massive red flag, and yet they set the most amount of laps.
Yeah, they did.
I mean,
McLaren in first.
I'll eat my words a little bit. I mean, they could still be slow.
Right.
We'll see. I'm trying to ignore these lap times again. They could still be slow, but we'll see what the reliability looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
that pretty much wraps it up for
F1 testing.
For F1 testing. Yeah, we'll cover more next week. We have F1 testing starting on Wednesday. It's
when this comes out.
When the day this video comes out, we'll have Bahrain testing day 1 started. Yep. So,
and then NASCAR Auto Trader 400 at Echo Park Speedway, which used to be Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, cool track. I've actually been there a couple times.
Yeah,
Yep. I was there. I mentioned briefly in episode 1 that I work for GM. I work at one of their dealerships. They sent me and a few of my coworkers up to what it used to be Atlanta. I did 1 year. It was called Atlanta Motorsport Park Speedway.
Motor Speedway.
Motor Speedway. Yep. And then the most recent time I went was when it was Echo Park. I went in October of 2025. So pretty cool event.
Yeah.
Logan's also attended.
Yeah.
And they pretty much GM sends us out there when they have a new release of vehicles coming in, and they'll put a whole ton of people like in their sales department and in their service department, like demos of all the vehicles. You get to drive them. You get to do a lot of cool things. Like when the Hummer was new, I was able to take the Hummer off roading, like in the woods behind Echo Park. So. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take the Z06 around the actual speedway.
I did in October this past year. I was taken in a actually it was a GT3 driver. I'd have to get his name. I don't remember who it was.
That's sick.
But a GT3 driver took us around a hot lap around the oval in the Z06. We did 167 miles an hour. I believe it was the fastest point. It was on the front straight.
Dang.
So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty good experience.
Yeah. And then my experience was not that. My experience. So you went last year and the year before. So 2024.
Yeah.
I went with you in 2024 on separate weekends, but the time I get to go, it's all EV based.
Right.
And what I get to take around the track is a Silverado EV. And don't get me wrong, it was fun. It was cool being on the track, and I got to off-road the ZR2 Colorado. So that was cool. But, oh no, it was the Hummer. That year was the Hummer.
Did you do the Hummer?
I did the Hummer. So, I don't remember if it was the Hummer or the Colorado. I don't remember.
If you did Chevy, it would have had to have
I
been
think it was
the Colorado.
Yeah. But anyways, it wasn't as cool as yours, but it was cool to be there on the track and whatnot. That was a fun event. So we have that. That is 400 laps at the Echo Park Speedway.
It's a mile track.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah.
But it's 400 laps. I know that. So yeah, and do you have any predictions for what could happen?
I mean, I think we've covered a lot. Another interesting talking point. I know Barcelona and Spa came out today.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it came out today. Another talking point. They're going to be rotating on calendar years. So we touched on it briefly. I think it was last episode. I was saying about how we were talking about how the calendar's gone from 18 races up to
24
all the way up, right? And this year, how many we have?
24
on the track. And I had said, what are they going to do? Are they going to
you brought
add
up this
more
point.
parts? Right. So I guess one of their solutions, the start to their solutions was to rotate the new Barcelona track and Spa. So
not the new one. No. Barcelona. Madrid is going to be
Madrid's the new one.
Madrid's the new one that's not flip-flopping.
So Barcelona, where they just did the shakedown.
Right.
So they're going to be flip-flopping Spa and Barcelona, which I think those are two major tracks on the
Right.
I
don't think either of them should be flip-flopping. They should be just full-time tracks. I'm kind of upset.
Right. And who gets the odd years?
So odd years is Spa.
Okay.
So this year we have both.
This year we have both. Right. And then in 2027 we're not going to have Barcelona.
Correct.
We're going to have Spa.
Right. And then
2028 it'll be
flip-flops.
Yeah.
And that's all the way through 2032.
Oh wow.
So we're doing that for next six seasons.
Years. Yeah. Okay.
Is
a contract ending?
So that's what the contract agreement was. The contract that they just renewed with Barcelona today was for 2028, 2030, and 2032.
Gotcha.
I don't know if Spa is going to rework their contract if they didn't have one yet. I don't know. Maybe they already did it today. But I know I saw the report of Spain being the even years.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then I want to touch on the betting odds real quick for the F1 season.
Yeah.
Because right now, even after the first testing day, I don't know if sportsbooks are just going based off of this and they think that this is a clear representation of...
We go back to day 2 and day 1.
Yeah. So Kimmy didn't run day 2. This was only George Russell, and he missed out on
Yeah.
some time. And
So
then
and then what's day 1?
day 1 they were P6.
Okay. I think it's hard to go off this.
I think so too, but I think sports books are looking at day 3 and seeing Mercedes at the top, and they're like, okay, but George Russell is favored to win Australia, win the Drivers' Championship, and Mercedes is favored to win the Constructors.
I still think it's too early to tell.
100%.
Reliability is one thing, but
Right.
pace around the track when you're 40
Right.
laps into a race is a totally different ballgame.
Right.
Right. You can be reliable, but if you're not fast, right. Both are important.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Both are important, but I think it's still way too early to call.
Yeah.
What are they really basing it off of? Because we've had the shakedown
where everybody thought Mercedes was the most reliable.
And we've had 3 days of Bahrain testing where we only got 1 hour of coverage each day.
Right.
So they're running off 3 hours of coverage.
Right.
I think it's still way too early to tell.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be a very interesting year.
I think betting on it this early for like an actual bet, I think it's still. I think it's a true bet. It's not. There's no logic behind it because anything could happen with these cars.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to wrap up with some hot takes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna do some hot takes. If we don't piss each other off with our F1 hot takes, we'll see if we piss any of you guys off. So that should be fun. Maybe get some more hate in the comments of our TikToks. What? No, it's all good. You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
So my first one is George Russell's never going to be an F1 champion. He's more like a Bottas or a Hamilton, or more like a Bottas than a Hamilton or Verstappen.
So you think Kimi Antonelli is going to take that number 1 spot?
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that. I think this year, George is the number 1 driver.
Yeah.
Kimi is extremely talented.
Very.
I love him. Even though he somehow got into a single car accident last week. He was fine, but
what do you mean?
He was driving in Italy and got into a single car accident.
Like a single car accident?
Like just him.
Just him.
Yeah.
What'd he hit?
I don't know. But I think it's pretty impressive for an F1 driver to get into a single car accident.
Yeah.
But anyways, no, I don't think I'm not saying this take in any relation to Kimi. I'm just saying I don't think he's talented enough to win a driver's championship.
Gotcha.
What do you think about that?
I kind of want to disagree, but I don't know if I'm disagreeing because I don't think he's that talented, or I don't think I'm disagreeing because maybe the competition just isn't. I think he could be a champion, but
really?
is it because of his talent, or is it because the people he's racing against aren't the strongest that we've seen in years of racing?
So that's fair. The competition that he's going up against, but. Would you rather have Oscar Piastri in your number 1 driver's seat or George Russell?
Okay. Did Oscar Piastri perform the way he did because he was in a fast car?
Okay. Would George Russell have performed as well as Oscar Piastri did if he was in the McLaren seat?
I think there's a chance he could have.
I disagree.
Why?
I think Oscar Piastri is, and when I say miles ahead talented than George Russell,
you think he's miles ahead.
Right. So I'm going to give you this scale here of what I mean by miles ahead.
Yeah.
If you're on a rating of 1 to 10 with Nikita Mazepin being 1 and Max Verstappen being 10, I would put Oscar Piastri at an 8.
I was going to say 7. I think 8's a bit strong.
You think 8's a bit strong?
Maybe he needs to
he's talented.
Maybe in a couple of years when he develops a little bit more.
I'll give you 7.
Okay.
George Russell's like a 5.5.
Give him a 6. He's
But that has to be a big difference between 6 and 7 then. Like I think then 6.5 or 7.5 for Oscar and a 6 for George Russell.
I could agree with that.
Right.
With Verstappen being a 10. But those are both still extremely young drivers.
See, I don't disagree, but like I'm saying, Oscar Piastri is going into his 3rd season. George Russell's going into his 7th, 8th.
Is he really?
I think at least 6.
Think he's that many seasons in.
2020, I know for a fact he was on the grid. And now I actually know for a fact it was 2019, 2020, 2021 were his 3 years with Williams. So 2019.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's going into his now 8th year.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And I would still take Oscar Piastri on my team over him.
I think maybe I would take Oscar Piastri too, just because of the age.
Take age out of it. I don't care. I'm taking
No,
Oscar.
because age means coachable.
Ooh, that's a hot take. Yuki,
Okay,
arguably the most uncoachable driver.
Age with an adult temperament.
See, I almost.
Okay, you think if you have Oscar Piastri and you have Fernando Alonso on a team,
Yeah.
and both of them are failing in the same things,
Yeah.
and the answer to both those things is the exact same thing.
Right.
Who do you think's more likely to take that advice?
Okay, that's a valid point.
Right. Coachable.
Coachable, yes. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I think I would take Oscar Piastri, whether, like, I'm talking about pure pace on a racetrack. I don't care what they do off track. I don't care how coachable they are. I'm saying if you take Oscar Piastri and you put him in a race car, and you take George Russell and you put him in the exact same race car right next to him, who am I putting my money on? I'm putting it on Oscar Piastri.
I don't disagree with that.
Okay. And Oscar
Are
Piastri
in equal performance cars?
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
My point is that goes back to my original question. Would George Russell have been as high up on points as would George Russell have been as high up on points as Oscar was in 2025 if he was in the same seat?
Would George Russell have done that?
Yeah. I'm saying no.
Is he the same age and going into his third season?
What?
Is he the same age and going into his third season?
Oh my gosh, bro. I'm talking about pure pace.
I'd take Piastri.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Give me a hot take.
All right. The 2021 championship rules were selectively applied.
The rules were selectively applied?
Yes.
Elaborate.
To determine, what do you mean? Elaborate.
Yeah,
Everybody
give
knows
me,
what happened.
like, are you talking about just the last race?
The last lap.
The last lap.
Absolutely.
I agree.
You think
100%.
they were selectively applied.
I think that if you're going to do something like they did in 2021, now keep in mind the 2021 season, after the season is when I really hardcore got into F1.
Okay.
So the Lewis Hamilton versus Max Verstappen, I wasn't really a part of it. I was kind of a unbiased bystander, and then I dissected everything. And after watching the whole season back and watching the last lap of Abu Dhabi, and I see them only allow the 5 cars in between to pass, that's where I have an issue.
Yeah.
If they allowed every car to pass, I don't have an issue. Max is going to win the championship if they allow every car to pass.
Right.
If they allow no cars to pass, who knows? Max could still win.
Right.
It'd take a lot more work, but he could. No one will know. But I think they had 3 options in front of them and they picked the worst one. I think they had,
Yeah.
like, and I
That's
think
not a bad way of looking at it. Yeah.
and that's why the person who made that decision left his job because of that. So,
yeah.
I don't
You think he made a lot of money?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know about after. I don't know if he can show his face in public in Great Britain, but yeah, I don't
Talking about the betting odds.
yeah, it's was it fixed?
Yeah.
No way.
Crashgate.
Crashgate's crazy. No, it's not Crashgate level. I think I look at the whole the season in a whole, and so many things went Hamilton's way, and so many things went Max's way.
Yeah.
So, like, for me,
It was just a crazy season.
Wild season.
Yeah.
And I think they make the worst decision in the world to finish out the
last
best
decision that they had to make that entire season was that decision.
Yeah, it makes me mad. And you know what makes me the most mad about it?
What?
Because to share a little bit about myself real quick, I love when people get along. I love the friendships in F1. You remember during COVID, the streamers and how it was Charles Leclerc and Alex Albon and right, they were all friends. They're on different teams, but everybody's buddy.
Right.
I hate the fact that the 2021 season made not only Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton
Enemies.
like arch nemesises.
Oh yeah.
But it also made a Red Bull fan not be able to talk to a Mercedes fan.
Yeah.
Like it was like that level of
It was like that level of hatred.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't hate Mercedes. I'm a Red Bull fan.
Yeah.
Like I put it like this.
I think Mercedes is gonna have a great year.
I think they could.
Yeah.
I mean, the last regulation change didn't go their way, but this year it could.
The one back in before the ground effects era did.
Yeah.
So
who knows?
Yeah. All right, take us into your number 2.
Oh yeah, my second one.
Yep.
Okay. Lando's one and done as a championship.
Oh.
As a champion.
No, that I disagree
hold on.
with.
There's an if. There's an if.
Okay.
If he never has as dominant a car as he had in 2025.
Hmm.
I think the only way he wins a championship again.
Because you think it's going to affect his confidence?
No, I don't even think that. I think that if he's in more equal cars to other people on the grid, I'm not saying exact same cars, but I'm saying if Red Bull was actually a good car last year, which it wasn't, Max is just that good.
Right.
I think like if there's more competition.
Think Max won.
What?
You think Max would have won?
I think.
Let's go back to your 1 out of 10.
Okay.
Piastri's a 6.5.
No, I genuinely believe Piastri's like a 7.5, 8 in comparison to Max.
So he was a 7.5 and George Russell was a 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's Lando? Max is a 10.
If Max is a 10, okay, this is going to sound crazy and not make any sense because Lando beat Piastri, but I would put them about at the same level in terms of talent. In terms of pure talent,
okay.
Like another hot take, which I don't have listed here, is I think Oscar is a multi-time champion in the making.
Okay.
I do. I mean, Oscar is just fast.
Yeah.
He is. I think he's the next Max Verstappen. I do.
He's got that Max Verstappen like
aura
vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does, for sure. No doubt. But no, I don't think if Lando is never in as dominant in a car as he was in 2025, he's not winning another championship.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I have my second hot take. I think this one's gonna strike a couple nerves. Hamilton's average in his recent years have shown that Mercedes was just overpowered.
Put an and in there. And what does that mean?
It means he's not going to go into the Hall of Fame.
Well, I think it means that. No, I think
he'll go into the Hall of Fame.
I think he's going in the Hall of Fame. But I think what you're trying to say is that Mercedes was so overpowered that it doesn't make Lewis. Lewis shouldn't seem as good as he was.
Correct.
You think Lewis was just lucky to be in such a good car?
Correct. And look at how many races Valtteri Bottas had to throw so Lewis Hamilton can win. If Valtteri Bottas had those wins, who's to say that he wouldn't have had a different status in F1 today? And
I agree.
And also, Nico Rosberg.
Yeah, Rosberg. Yeah.
Rosberg was the only driver to beat Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
At Mercedes.
Yeah. So
and then he's gone.
Yeah.
Lewis wanted him gone.
We retired. I don't know. Did Lewis want him gone?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay. So here's my opinion on that hot take. Do I think Lewis Hamilton as a driver is overrated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I think that Lewis Hamilton deserves some of his championships?
Yes.
Yes. Do I think he's a top 5 F1 driver of all time?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
I'll put him in like the 5 spot, but you can't name 4 better drivers in F1 history. You can't.
Yeah.
Go history only, not current drivers.
Okay, well, you're knocking out Max Verstappen, who has had historical seasons.
100%.
So if we're going to talk history, why would we not add Max Verstappen in there?
Okay, so then I'm going to give you this question because I think this is not fair to Lewis. And I'll tell you why. Just because somebody's given a great car doesn't mean that he should be discredited for how he drove it.
I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
But
I still think he's overrated.
yeah.
100%.
I mean, that's really my whole hot take. I just I don't think he's as
Yeah.
good as everybody says.
Yeah, I don't think Lewis is as good as everybody thinks.
And his years in when Ferrari or when Mercedes started going downhill, when Red Bull became dominant again, he was average.
Buns.
He was a midfield driver.
Yeah.
Right?
He didn't get a single podium last year in a Grand Prix. He did in a sprint race, but that was it.
And then he moves to Ferrari.
Right.
And the same thing is happening.
Right.
Now, is Ferrari the best car? No.
Not last year. Certainly not.
But neither was Mercedes the last few years.
Right.
And he was a midfield driver.
Right. Now, do you think that drivers are only going to come in more talented every year? Like, so the reason I ask that is...
No.
You don't?
No.
So I almost disagree just because of technology and the way that you can develop a young driver from karts all the way up to F1.
Yeah.
I think that you can develop a driver much more. And I would say if you put... I mean, I'll go back to Oscar Piastri. If you put Oscar Piastri in that Mercedes, I think he's deserving. He would be as deserving as all the hype that Lewis has now.
Okay. I think
got something in your eye?
Yeah, I do.
I'm leaving all this in, by the way.
That's fine. Image is also very important to these teams.
Yeah.
Right? We're seeing it happen in college sports all over the country.
Yeah.
Where it might not be you're the best on the field or you're the best on the track.
Money.
Uh-huh. It's all about money.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's all about who's gonna, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have if you have an upper middle class or an upper middle field driver,
right,
with the energy of Daniel Ricciardo,
mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna get picked over somebody that is more quiet and docile and not really that exciting, but could be a higher on the field.
Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. How many more hot takes do you have?
Just one.
You have one more?
Yeah.
All right, I got two more, so that's fine. All right. Max Verstappen is the most talented driver to ever hit an F1 grid in history. That does not make him the GOAT.
And that does not make him the GOAT?
No. I think he's the most pure talented driver to ever hit an F1 grid, but I don't think he's the greatest F1 driver of all time.
Okay. And why wouldn't he be the best?
I think you have... So I look at it like this. I look at careers as a whole, and my GOAT is Schumacher.
Yeah.
Right? So I look at Max Verstappen in 2023, like, that car was so dominant that, I mean, anybody in that car could have won the championship. But I think based on pure talent and, like, again, let's go back to equal cars, because I think that's where you have to gauge talent, in my opinion.
Right.
If they're both in equal cars, take Schumacher, Verstappen, Hamilton, those are the three main GOATs, let's say. I don't think Verstappen is going to win 5 years. You give him 5 years in identical cars, full seasons. Schumacher's going to win more championships.
Okay.
But I think Max, as a pure driver and his race craft, I think he's more talented. Do you see where I'm going with this, or are you kind of like,
no? I see where you're going
sense?
with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's the GOAT.
Because there's a lot that goes into being an F1 champion. It's not really just about pace.
No.
I mean, a lot of it is about pace, but there's so many other factors. Consistency.
Right.
Mental wellness, like being able to, have a bad race and then have 5 more good ones after that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think Max is the most talented, but I don't think he is currently or ever will be the GOAT.
Okay. My third one, we were talking about Schumacher, his son. I think Mick Schumacher would still be on the grid if he was in a better car other than Haas.
I want to say I agree with that just because I love Mick. I think with Haas, right? So he was with him from 2021 and 2022. And the amount of crashes that he had.
He did have a lot of crashes.
I mean, that could go to driver development in the team.
Right.
And maybe if he was on a different team, the driver development would have been better and it would have been less mistakes.
Right.
But I mean, I want to say, like, yes, I agree because I like Mick. I think he would have lasted longer.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would still be on the grid.
All right.
That's what I'll say.
All right.
I think that'd be my response to that. My last hot take. We were talking about the regulations for 2026 a lot.
Yeah.
Tonight. They're not going to be as bad as these drivers and the fans are making them out to be. The teams are going to figure it out. They're going to make enough changes, and it's still going to be an exciting year.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think the odds are of the FIA allowing just changing, like, major changes?
Give me an example of a major change.
More horsepower in the motors, like 30% more horsepower to make up for the loss.
Just in the ICU, or
Yeah.
So let's be very
or something like that.
Right. So to go to Max Verstappen's comment about it being Formula E on steroids, let's be real. It's where F1 has been saying they were going for a while.
They have
the clean energy and the natural gases and just getting into all that. Like, this is motor racing.
Yeah.
Make the cars what the cars need to be. They still sound good. They still have an ICU. So if it's 50-50 power, that's fine with me. I don't care. But at least make the cars be able to go.
Yeah.
If they're dying halfway down a straight, you need to fix something. You can't. That's not going to make anything entertaining, because if somebody's trying to go for a pass, they're going to run out of battery too.
Right.
And you're just not going to have racing.
Right.
So, yeah, I think they need to make a major change to the regulations, or teams need to find a serious loophole.
Yeah.
And I think the first team to find that serious loophole, which might be Mercedes.
I was going to say Mercedes.
Right, because the Mercedes engine, right? So that's going to apply to Mercedes, Alpine, and who else is on a Mercedes engine this year? McLaren is, McLaren. Yeah, McLaren's not on the Ferrari engine. Yeah, I think they're on Mercedes. That loophole could, we'll see if they let it stay.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the active aero wings for the rear wing.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 different systems that I've seen.
Yeah.
The opening from the top hinge,
right?
Opening from the middle, and then opening from the bottom hinge.
Right. So we're used to the top.
Yeah.
Right.
For
DRS.
Yeah.
And then I think the active aero kind of pointless.
You think so?
I think the only reason they did it is because of the 50-50 split.
Yeah.
To reduce drag. But without it being the effectiveness of DRS and that now being overtake mode with the 1 second and not everybody can use it, it just negates out between the cars, right? Because everybody's using
it.
So I don't know. I think they should have still kept it called DRS because it's just it's DRS. It is a drag reduction system.
Yeah,
it's exactly
with the front wing now as well.
Yeah, which is pretty sick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw in one quick last hot take. These are the best looking F1 cars of all time.
I don't disagree. I like the way they look.
I don't think any car.
F1 cars have been getting really ugly.
I'm going to reduce my hot take just a smidge.
Okay.
Because that was a little too hot. Because I do think there are some old cars that look better. But also, since in the last 3 regulations,
Like 2010.
Last four.
Like 2010.
So that's like 2010, 2021,
Yeah.
2022, and 2026.
I agree with that.
That's the best one.
Yeah.
They look sick.
Yeah. They look
aggressive.
great. Yeah.
They just have 50% battery power, which is.
We're going to see how the season goes.
It should be very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, you want to take us out? I think that's it.
That's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe so you can keep up with the latest in motorsport. We look forward to hearing from you guys, and let us know if we can change anything in the comments. We're always open to it.